Hey you guys, good morning. It's me, Kira T, and I'm back with a quick video. So I had a great start to my morning. I started like an hour and 10 minutes later than I usually do, but I still went to the gym and I still had my time with God this morning, which is important. And like during my time with God, like I just really cried out to him and just, it was a good cry. It was like a necessary cry because I just feel like, I've spent so many months like, really giving God so much of my time and, a lot of myself, my time and everything. And it feels like in this season of my life, I've been shifting. I've been trying to prioritize other things that I can sense that I'm being called to, whether that's showing up for other people, loving on other people, and God just potentially working out other areas of my life in general, things that I pray for. And so it's caused me to kind of have to shift my time and my focus a little bit. So this morning when I had like my prayer time with God, I like cried out to him because I don't know, it was kind of symbolic. It was the first time that scene or that like act made sense to me, whereas like a father walks his daughter down the aisle and he gives his daughter over to the husband, and he's in with a heart that he's entrusting his daughter to that man, or that he's in trusting whatever scenario it is that he's trusting it to that person. And it's just like, how a father might feel when it's like you go from being like the main caretaker or the main man in his daughter's life to maybe even kind of shifting a little or pivoting a little where someone else or something else could become a priority. And it's just like, I would never usually think about stuff like that because I'm definitely not the type of woman that wants a wedding. I don't think about that. I know they talk about everybody and all women have how they want to have their dream weddings and stuff. But I've never been that woman. I've never wanted a wedding, and I likely will not have one. But it just literally reminded me of that, of feeling like you're like handing your daughter over, a man feeling like he's handing his daughter over to another man to take care of her. And it's just like, man, you never really think about it from a man's perspective, but I never really thought about it from a woman's perspective either, of kind of like going from being under the care of like a father. And for me, I'm referring to my heavenly Father, whose care I'm always going to be under. God is always going to love me and cover me and be there for me. But it's just like when you go from like giving God so much of your time to now realizing that you do have to create that balance in life, which is a conversation I've been having a lot lately about balance. Something that I'm learning, because for quite a bit when I've been seeking God, like I've been seeking him, I didn't have balance. I wasn't balancing God with other people. Like my family took a back seat, my friendships took a back seat, dating, all of that took a back seat. I was not prioritizing God with anything. And now it's like, okay, I'm adding these different components back into my life. And now it's like, okay, I'm still also, sticking to the times and everything that I've committed to for me and God or whatever, because like God is like a necessity for me. It's not like an option, and it's not like, oh, just because other things might come into fruition in my life, that doesn't mean that I get to take a back seat to God, or that he gets lesser of my time or whatever. So I don't know, it just felt this morning when I like was crying out, it just felt like a cry that I really needed, because it's just like, God, I can see that things are shifting. I can see that, I do have to prioritize people. People might need me in their life for a season or for a long term, or, for prayer, or just so I can be a light in their life. And it's like, and I love that. I'm grateful that God, entrusts me to put me places where he can be glorified, because I'm always going to obviously show up and represent him. But it's like, man, like too, like, dang God, like we've been in a groove. Me and God have been in such a groove. And so, to have to factor in other things and other people because I have to exist in, reality too. It's like, oh. So it was just so good to be able to see God that way this morning, and to just pray out and cry out to him and just let him know, like, man, I need this. I need you above all these things. I need you above. And I know that I have to be present for other people, because it is time for me to come out of the season that I was in. But I have to come out of the season that I was in while also still maintaining my core and my center of God. you know, and it's just so necessary. Like, I really can't live without God. Like, I can't go a day without God, without praying to God, and without reading, and without seeking, and without referencing, like, and what God, like, literally lives in my heart. And I mean that so literally too. Like, I couldn't trade it. I couldn't turn it off. I can't. It's just so necessary. And so God just really fills me up in a way that no human ever could do. Nobody could ever fill me up the way God fills me up. And no one could love me the way God has really loved me. Like, I have truly learned the essence of another level of love, just 100% based on all this time that I've spent with God, the way he's covered me and protected me and loved on me, and you know, when I would cry out to him, the way he would comfort me, like the way God has comforted me over the months when I would feel lonely, or when I would feel sad, or when I would feel rejected. It's just like, I would never trade that. I would never, ever trade that. And so it's just like, now that there's new facets being added in, there's different weights to a certain extent, because, you know, depending on what sort of baggage or what sort of things people bring to the table, when it comes to kind of sitting at my table in my life, it's like, okay, I have to maybe give a little more focus to this. Now I have to pray for this. So I'm really just shifting. And I'm learning balance, reallocating time to more people, as opposed to giving so much of my time to God, but obviously still keeping God at the forefront of my heart and of my mind, and, you know, just keeping him where he deserves to be and where I know he desires to be, which is on the throne of my life. So all that being said, all is well, and things are transitioning for me. Life has shifted, and I couldn't be more grateful. But, you know, I just, at the core of my being, like at the core of my existence, like, I will always just need God first above all else. Like, I need God. Like, some people need coffee in the morning. I need God. And this is just, I don't even really know why I'm doing this video. It's kind of just an insert, because I haven't done as many videos, because I've been kind of reallocating a little bit more of my time. But certain things that I'm still working on now are contributing to other areas of my life where there is a purpose behind it, and I'm focused on those things and producing what God has called me to produce. So happy May. It's like May 16th, I think. Yeah, May 16th. And there's so much to look forward to, so much that God is doing, and I'm excited to continue to grow, and to continue to learn, and to continue to evolve, and to take my journey day by day. So that's all I got. If you watched to the end, God bless you. Thank you. And I'm actually about to get back to work. All right, bye, you guys.